Well, I'm CPR certified every year, but during that time, I completely forgot my training. And my husband saw that I was panicking, saved our baby, and from there, I knew that if I, a medical professional, could forget, then everybody else could. And so I invented CPRWrap. CPRWrap is a disposable CPR template that empowers, protects, and guides any non-medical responder during CPR. Within that template, it has a one-way valve mouth barrier for rescue breathing. It has visual hand placements that shows people exactly how and where to do compressions, and simple CPR instructions that are embossed right on top of the wrap that can be translated into any language. When I invented CPRWrap, I invented it for everyone. And so the sizes are adult, which is 8 and up, child, 1 year old to 8, and infant, from newborn to 1 year old. According to the American Heart Association, anyone as young as 9 years old should be able to perform CPR. So a child could actually perform CPR using our template.
The Pitch for Good Tennessee Tough, presented by Pinnacle Financial, is a contest to reward a local entrepreneur with a grand prize of becoming an official Titan sponsor for the 2021 season.
Winning the Pitch for Good competition afforded us a year-long sponsorship for the Tennessee Titans. Our logo will be displayed in every game, which is amazing.
Gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 from the 48.
We wanted to make sure CPRWrap is accessible to everyone. So we have our own e-commerce platform at CPRWrap.com. We're on Amazon. We're on Walmart.com. Every 2 minutes, someone dies of sudden cardiac arrest. Some of those deaths can be prevented. And with CPRWrap, we want to be a solution to that problem. Our mission statement for CPRWrap is to empower every man, woman, and child to save a life and to be saved.
Opportunities don't happen, you create them. And this is by Chris Grosser. Today's guest is the CEO and inventor of CPRWrap, a patented award-winning CPR template that protects and guides any non-medical responders during respiratory and cardiac emergencies that require CPR. Felicia Jackson will be sharing with us stories of her journey as the inventor of CPRWrap, together with all the success stories and challenges that come with it. Hello, Felicia, and welcome to Podcast with Sheila.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Great, it's a delight to have you on our show today. So who is Felicia? A little background story of who you are and where you come from, stuff like that.
Right, so Felicia is a mother, wife, and medical person that loves to take care of people. All my life, I've been that way. And I've also been an innovator too. I've always tried to dabble and invent things, and I'm an inventor, but I'm a procrastinator. And those two, they just don't mix because, you know, I always tinker with things, but I never follow through with them. But I just enjoy life. I enjoy my family, and I just care. I'm a caregiver. That's who I am.
Great. Let's talk about CPRWrap. So for a better understanding of anybody hearing it for the first time, what is it?
Right. Now, what CPRWrap is, it is a single-use CPR template that allows any non-medical bystander to perform CPR, even if you're untrained. I always advocate for people to get CPR trained, but we know 54% of Americans, or just people in general in the US, don't know how to perform CPR. And CPRWrap gives them everything that they need to perform CPR. I mean, it's just so scary. You know, it takes me back to the reason why I made it in the first place.
Now that you're there, let's ask, how did it come about? What inspired it?
Right. So, in 2002, my 2-year-old son was experiencing a choking incident. Now, during that time, I was working in a hospital. I was CPR certified every year. And we were all in a car. And I turned around to look back at my children and noticed that my son was choking. So we jump out of the car. My husband immediately gives my son to me because I should know what to do.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I could think to do was to shake him and cry, help me, help me.
Yeah.
My husband saw that I was panicking, took our son out of my hands and saved his life. And that affected me for so many years because I thought, what if my husband was not there?
Yeah.
What would have happened? I would have snapped out of it.
Yeah.
But you know, my husband saved his life, and then I went on to invent CPRWrap.
Oh, great, great, great. So the invention, I want to know how it started. You know, sometimes people sit down and say, oh, I saw it in a dream, or I just could picture it. You know, how did it really and actually come about?
Right. It's funny you say that because my product came to me in a dream.
Oh, great.
So yes, okay. So I am a serial inventor. Of course, I was trying to figure out what could I do? What could I make? And I already worked in a hospital.
Yeah.
And I spoke to a lot of respiratory therapists, cardiologists, you know, my peers.
Yeah.
But another incident that I don't talk too much about happened within my family where I actually lost my niece to an incident and she passed away. And I was distraught. I was distraught. And I had a dream, and I keep a book by my bed. Every time I think of something, I just pick up the book and I trace it, no matter what it is. And I remember having a dream. I remember like it was yesterday. A man was on the ground. We were outside between some cars. He had went into full cardiac arrest. And I saw this product, whatever it was, laying on top of his chest. And they were using it to administer CPR. So I wake up and I remember, because of that day, that night, I dreamt it was in color. I traced what I could remember immediately, and my procrastination kicked in again. And I just sat on that for at least 5 more years before I started to do anything with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your journey. How difficult or easy was it to bring the invention out? Did you have people supporting you, say, go for it? Or people say, do you think you can do it? What were some of the things you had to go through to eventually bring the product out to what we're seeing today?
Oh, yeah. It was not a very easy journey at all whatsoever. I did not come from a business background. No one in my family ever owned a business. And I was always working in the medical field. And so when I first started, I had to start from scratch. But thankfully, within my city in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we had a lot of resources for first-time entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And I took from that. You know, I went to accelerators, incubators, and learned from the ground up everything that I needed to. But I was also proactive myself because especially during the phase where I knew I had a product, I knew I wanted to protect that product. So I knew I wanted to get it. I needed to get the patent on it.
Yeah.
And I did all of that myself from Google. Yeah, Google was my friend. Yeah, it really was.
Great. I want us to emphasize on this. Does anybody need special training to be able to use CPRWrap?
No, you do not need to be CPR trained. We advocate for CPR training, but you do not need to be CPR trained to use it. Great.
Let's talk about some of the successes along the way as you started this journey.
Right. So some of the successes along the way, one great success, we were awarded our patent in 2019 for CPRWrap. I love. We have been privileged enough to partner with a company called Heart Hero, who makes a very portable, small AED, which is a defibrillator that shocks the heart back into rhythm.
Okay.
We just partnered with them. It's just so many. And one that I did not think I was going to get was I won a pitch competition in Nashville, Tennessee.
Great.
And I became a year-long sponsor with the NFL's Tennessee Titans. That was amazing.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. That's brilliant. There are 2 things I want to ask you. I've not written them down yet, but I hope I can ask you. As a woman inventor, and as a woman of color for that matter, what are some of the challenges, particularly to these 2 areas I've mentioned, that you've had to face? I know it's difficult as a woman of color, starting a business when you're looking for grants or funds to even put it together, all of that. What are some of the challenges you've had to go through, and how did you overcome them?
Right. There, like I said, there are many challenges, and I like to be an open book because it's not always roses.
Yeah.
Being a female and a Black female at that.
Yeah.
I had difficulty with partnerships in the very beginning. People did not want to give me a chance. I couldn't get my foot in the door. I even had someone tell me that I should make the face of my company into a white person's face because I would have been a multi-million-dollar company quicker. And it was, I couldn't believe that he actually said that to me. Yeah. But I know from talking to a lot of companies, people do it, but I was not going to do that by any means. By any means. And networking, when you don't have a lot of money as a small business, it's very important that you meet with the right people. You network with the right people because they can get you in the doors. They can also make it possible for you to get capital that you need. But, it was just so hard. People were watching me to make sure I got to a certain level before they interacted with me. Yeah. They didn't want to talk to me when I was down and out. They wanted to talk to me when things were going great. And which made it, our journey a lot longer than what it should have been, I feel.
I'm just thinking about it because sometimes they want to see your credibility in the whole idea. If you'll be able to sustain it, if you have the ability to carry it on, no matter the challenges you go, because definitely when you're building a product or coming out with a business, you have challenges. So probably they wanted to know. I think I've experienced it on so many occasions. And I see that anytime you're able to push through, people are willing to help you to make that dream possible all the time. So, well, let's see. Then other things I want to ask, I've forgotten the other one, but it will come back to me, I believe. What is the most memorable experience on CPRWrap in the invention, the most memorable one you can never forget?
Oh, wow. There's so many. But one of the most memorable was a phone call that I actually got from a parent who told her story. She had just saw CPRWrap, and her husband had he was CPR trained from his job. And he left to go to work, and she had her baby. The baby was probably around 2 years old as well. And the baby stopped breathing. And she didn't know how to do CPR, but she remembered from seeing some things that I had posted on social media where I do a demonstration about CPRWrap. So, that was very memorable, to me. She didn't actually have the wrap, but she remembered seeing some of my demonstrations. And it was like, wow, we are affecting people all over already. Yeah. And that's a big deal to us.
It looks like CPRWrap needs to be in every household. Yes. Everybody needs it all around the world. So where is it now? Is it all in the US or where else is it?
No. I knew this product, it was an international social impact product, right? So we are everywhere. We are sold in Canada. Any country is where CPRWrap can be, because we can, especially if we partner with distributors within that region, we can translate the text on the wrap and the packaging to any language. So right now they come in English, they're bilingual, English and Spanish, and we're working on English and French for our Canadian partnerships that we're working on. And anybody else, that want CPRWrap within their region.
Well, Felicia, this is a big thing, and you're a source of inspiration to all women. And I believe especially to women of color, because we don't see more of this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I want us to be able to, if anybody will be listening, say something to them to let them know anything is possible, because this is really huge.
Right. And it is. Anything that you put your mind to is possible. And that's why it's very important that you always have champions that are Team You, that surrounds you, because we already have tons of people that don't want to see us succeed for whatever reason that they can make up. But when you have passion, purpose, and determination, nothing can stop you.
Is there anything else you'd like us to talk about that we've not already spoken about concerning CPRWrap?
I can't think of anything off. I guess one thing is I like to tell people that CPRWrap, even though I made it just for humans, with the sole purpose of empowering people everywhere to save a life and be saved, I thought about everybody and everybody within the family. And I also invented a CPRWrap kit for dogs, which is going to debut later this year. I wanted to be all inclusive for everybody in the household. And sometimes people love their pets more than humans.
It's true. That's true though.
They do.
Yeah. Let me ask you, as a mother and as a wife, together now as an inventor, how do you manage it? Because being a mother is a full-time job, and then being a wife is another job on its own. And now being an inventor, how do you do it?
Yeah, a strong family unit. I definitely could not have done this without my husband. And because I was working a 9 to 5. And whenever I got off work, I go straight home and I work on CPRWrap until the wee hours of the morning. And it wasn't until, this is a funny story. It's funny now, but it wasn't funny then. When I decided to jump into doing CPRWrap full time, I just got my degree as a physical therapist. You know, I practiced for a few years, but I knew I couldn't stop thinking about it. And I knew I had to be all in. So I quit my job. Right then, and I didn't tell my husband. And I said, well, Felicia, you need to fess up, because in a few weeks, he's going to know there's not money coming into the house, and, you know, I'm going to be in trouble. But I learned to communicate better, which is always a great thing. And I told him, he knew this is what I had to do. Even if I failed, I had to at least try. And he was okay with it. You know, he started working extra shifts, and that allowed me to become part of CPRWrap full time and grow it.
So CPRWrap has a team. How big is it now as a team? You have distributors in every country, is it?
We're getting there. Not quite. Our team, we're moving to Nashville, Tennessee, and our team is 3 people right now. But we are getting distribution partners all over the world. We're still taking them in. I mean, I'm contacting everyone. Because this is not something that I wanted to grow slow. This is something that needs to be out right now, because people are dying, and I want to be a part of the solution.
So this means that if anybody's listening to you from any part of the world, they can reach out if they want to be distributors.
Yes, they can reach out if they want to be distributors, if they want to get CPRWrap for their business. I feel like CPRWrap should be in every home, car, business, school, church, everywhere. Anywhere there's people, there should be a CPRWrap kit.
Brilliant. Before we wrap up, what will your final message be for this year? No, what do you wish for this year? What do you wish to happen?
This year, I would like to the end of this year, I would like to close at least 5 partnerships in various places around the country to grow CPRWrap. Specifically, in some regions within Africa, I wanted to partner with a nonprofit. I've done it before, and I loved it, to include CPRWraps in rural communities, underserved communities that don't readily have a lot of money. We would like to donate, but I can't do that alone. I would need to partner with a larger company.
Oh, brilliant. What would the final message be then to our listeners as we bring this to a close?
The final message would be just to anyone that wants to start their own company and their own business to don't give up. Don't give up, you know, and always remember your why. No matter what happens, however many times you fail, always get up and remember your why, and that'll keep you pressing forward. I still fail. No one's perfect, but I know my why, and that's going to get us through to our mission.
Wow, brilliant. I've personally enjoyed it. I feel inspired, and would like to say a massive thank you for coming on Podcast with Sheila today.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. If you've been listening in, this has been season 2, episode 46 of our podcast series, where we've been bringing your way seasoned guests with inspiring real life stories to share with us. Do not miss out on all these lovely experiences. Subscribe and be notified when a new episode is released. Whilst at it, please drop us a rating. We have a video presentation of this episode on our YouTube channel. Just search for Podcast with Sheila on YouTube and you'll find us. Our prayer for you this week is, may you never miss a divine opportunity this year. Until we meet again.